We've just finished Rafael's presentation. Fantastic, succinct overview of the process of landscape photography. And it's how long have you been working as a landscape photographer?
Well, working, photographing or working?
Photographing, really, yeah.
Well, 2007 was the beginning,
yeah.
I'd say, yeah. It's quite recent in a way.
Yeah. And you started with digital or film?
No, I started with digital, just a tiny camera too. Just holiday shots, holiday photographs. But it was a long trip that we made around the world of a few months. And I had the chance to make a lot of bad photographs in a way. So in those 4 months, I suppose I learned quite a lot. And I was bitten by the photography bug. And I think that just changed the perception in quite a deep way. And I remember coming back from Australia in the plane and thinking to myself, well, it would be fun to do this for a living. But of course, I forgot about that idea. But I started to photograph more and more. And it would be, I don't know, a few years later, because it's been that I became just a professional photographer full time. I was in research. Before at university.
Because you're engineer?
Working, you're a mechanical engineer.
In education?
So rock mechanics. So I was working in the university lecturing about rock mechanics, tunneling, and I was working also in industry, construction design and all that. But in any case, it was now, after all those years, I can look back at my background, and it all fits, because in a certain way, I started photographing the nature and the landscape, because I like nature and I'm curious about the world, and science is related to science, and art is very much science, art and philosophy. They try to give, or religion in a certain way too, to give answers to questions which are quite universal in a certain way.
We see people like Michelangelo, and
they
all go together.
So I think science and art are very much the same thing. And the fact, I was an engineer, but it's geomechanical engineer, so it's more related to nature, more related to things which are not exact. It's more studying nature in a way, so it's more scientific, and that was the thing that I liked.
And you transitioned from digital to film, digital to film and digital.
Yeah,
exactly. And we've had a chat before, because we both got the film bug. I think we've got drum scanners that we use together. But in many ways it's an exciting time. Digital has helped film photography. I think it's a great time to use film.
I think so, yeah, because nowadays, what I like about film is really can be extremely, let's say, uncomfortable in a certain way. But I think that's even a good thing. What it does, I think, is to increase that connection. I was talking during the presentation about connection. I think that's what I look for in my photographs. Not even in my photographs, that's what I look for. And then photographs come. So photograph is the bonus. And I realize when I use film, what happens is that I don't have any interruptions.
Yeah.
And these interruptions that come is the same thing as looking at the movie in the cinema and having a cat in the middle to go to the toilet.
So you spend more time looking and less time taking it.
It takes you out of the story. It takes you out totally of what's going on. And then you cannot get back to the same place where you were. And what happens with digital is that you have this constant interference taking place, that we are going to look at the LCD to see whether the histogram is okay or not, or whether you have the image or not. And I think it's quite healthy to say, maybe the photograph is ruined, but, it doesn't matter.
Tell us a little bit about Why Take as well, because there's a great network of photographers, and European photographers in particular. There are Americans and
it's quite. Well, basically, it all started 3 years ago. Even before, and Alistair Ben and I got just like you and me. Through forums and we started talking about, and we like to make something where it was, like a global community with people from different countries, cultures, languages, putting together inspiring photography in a way, but without getting rid of all that kind of ego, competitive thing in photography. So we wanted to create a community which was going to be just a community, nothing about me and me. And what we did was something that I think people understood and has become still niche, but quite popular, I would say, with very good quality in the, extremely good quality in terms of photography. So it really worked, because what we have seen, for instance, is that people highlight the photographs, the work of other people. And that's something that I've never seen before, and we unfortunately don't see very often in general social media. No. It's like put in front of the community something that you found inspiring from somebody else and say, look at this guy or look at these photographs, they're great. And I think that's what makes us advance in a certain way, and that's why basically I like onLandscape magazine, because this is what you're doing too. It's very much a similar photography where we get rid of our own work and our own ego, and we just celebrate nature photography or landscape photography in a certain way. So it's been exciting, and
well, thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for the presentation.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Rafael.